The lowland parks of Vilpattu and Yala cover hundreds of kilometers of grassland, scrub, and forest. And across all of it, the most constant presence is not the rarest or the most dramatic, it is the most numerous. The grazers and the browsers. The herds that move through this landscape every morning and every evening without fail. They are easy to take for granted, but without them, this wilderness would look very, very different. Here, in the lowland plains, a herd of water buffalo grazing quietly near the waters is not an uncommon sight. Large, aggressive, and feisty, these brutish bovines have been feared by villagers for generations. They dominate the landscape with their giant sweeping horns and the signature death stare they give to anyone who gets too close. They spend most of their time submerged in water, with only a pair of nostrils and perhaps a horn or eye to betray their presence. The water serves the dual purpose of cooling their bodies and keeping them safe from flies and mosquitoes. Halves, born after months of gestation, are gangly little creatures with long spindly legs and soft, trusting eyes. And like most newborns, very curious. At nearly 2 weeks old, this one seems to find the nearby strutting peacock mesmerizing. The mother gives birth in seclusion, taking herself away from the herd to deliver in some quiet grove. She is also very protective, as a newborn calf is a ripe meal for the ever present predators sneaking through the undergrowth. Nevertheless, these buffaloes are confident creatures and are even willing to go up against leopards when provoked. But not every animal here carries that confidence. Each morning, herds of deer gather around reservoirs to drink. They are perhaps the most familiar face in the island's wilderness. With its beautiful brown coat and soft eyes, they are instantly recognizable and routinely capture the imaginations of both locals and eager tourists alike. But beauty here comes with a price. Being the primary food source for predators like the leopard, the spotted deer lives a life of constant vigilance. The herd itself is their greatest defense. With dozens of eyes and ears trained on the surrounding bush, very little goes unnoticed. Primarily active in the early morning and evening, the deer prefer to laze in the shade of the canopies during midday. Like all of Sri Lanka's deer, only the males possess antlers, shed and regrown each year in a cycle tied to the seasons. And they are not merely ornamental. During the rut, these antlers become a symbol of dominance. Males find excuses to start fights, each one trying to establish his right to the females in the herd. The largest
most impressive set of antlers rarely even needs to fight. The display alone is often enough. By evening, the herd has returned to the open grassland, grazing in that unhurried way that belies just how alert they always are. But the spotted deer is not the only deer to call Vilpattu home. Another rare inmate of Vilpattu's jungles is the barking deer, roughly the size of a dog and sounding very much like one as well. These small species of mudjack are far more cautious than their spotted cousins. A shift in the breeze, and they are gone. However, even this deer's reclusive nature pales in comparison to one of the shyest animals of the Sri Lankan lowlands, the sambar, Sri Lanka's largest deer and one of its most secretive. Primarily nocturnal, the sambar is not an easy animal to find. But the dry season has a way of drawing even the most private of creatures out into the open. Here in Vilpattu, they have adapted to come out early in the morning and at dusk, and on some occasions, in the full light of day. They also seem to have no aversion to water. It is not uncommon to find a large male wading in up to his shoulders, grazing on water lily leaves without a care in the world.
At nearly 200 kilos, the sambar has fewer reasons to be afraid. They lead a solitary life, but not, it seems, a lonely one. The sambar appears entirely at ease in its own company, always cloaked in the quiet of Sri Lanka's jungles.
In the lowland wilderness, these animals are the foundation of the ecosystem. Remove them, and the predator has nothing to hunt. The grass grows unchecked, the land loses its balance. As long as the rains return and the grass grows back, so too will the hooves and the horns.